Hi, it's Jocelyn from Boo Boo's Best, and I've been asked a bunch recently about how Boo Boo's Best got started and a little bit more about my journey to creating this business, and so I thought I would do it in a video. So I was an actor for many, many years, and I was in New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, and I absolutely loved it, but I got seriously burned out after a while and decided that I needed to just try something different and take a break from it. So because I was living in the Bay Area and of course had become interested in wine, I started studying and researching wine, and then wound up getting some jobs as assistant sommelier at a couple of Bay Area restaurants. And I loved that as well. And in the middle of all that, in 2011, my husband and I adopted our dog, who is officially named Tuco, but has the nickname Boo Boo. And he came into our lives in 2011, and of course, we absolutely fell in love with him. But Boo Boo, unfortunately, had a lot of digestive issues. So he was kind of sick right off the bat from the minute we brought him home. He had a lot of diarrhea. He didn't seem to be putting on weight. He was hungry all the time, and we really didn't know what was going on. We were trying lots of different foods. We were trying kibble, we were trying canned, we were trying, oh God, I can't even remember what else we tried. We tried a lot of different stuff. And the kind of thing that made us decide to make a shift was our vet did some blood work and said, basically he's starving and he was starting to have some liver issues because he wasn't absorbing any of the food that we were giving him. So luckily this holistic vet suggested that we try feeding him a raw diet. And I had been nervous about that, thinking, I don't know, just I was nervous that it was going to be messy, it was going to be difficult, it was going to have health hazards. And so I had kind of left that as a last resort. And finally we got there, and the vet suggested, that sometimes dogs just can't digest processed foods, and that they need to just have the cleanest, most whole food meals possible. So we were so desperate, and we were so worried that we were going to lose our dog, that we went ahead and tried raw, and it literally was overnight. He was better. All the diarrhea went away. He started putting on weight. Like everything that had been wrong was fixed. That to me was incredible, and really made me start wondering, what is that all about, and why did that happen, and why was there such a difference in those foods? And there's a lot of information that you can find online and books, and I just started looking into all of it and had that sort of light bulb moment where I had thought for so long that kibble, that was just what you fed them. And then all of this research and looking at what goes into that, that kind of food versus what goes into raw food, and just realizing that just like with people, there's been this movement of that it makes a difference, the quality food that we put in our own bodies, that having whole foods, natural, makes a difference. Having more fruits and vegetables and meats and grains, things like that, how beneficial those can be to people depending on what kind of diet you prefer to have. But that those things make a difference as well. So I became really inspired by that, and with my holistic vet, I started putting together my own recipes and making his food. And the more that I talked to other people, like at dog parks, realized how many other people's dogs were having similar issues. They had digestive issues. They had a lot of allergies, maybe skin allergies, problems with their coat, a lot of dandruff. They were always scratching. Maybe they had bitten hot spots from these allergies. They're constant licking of paws. And some of these can be environmental, but some of them are triggered by food. So the more I spoke to people, the more I realized there's a real need for this, for real good, high quality food. So that was how I started initially, was making frozen raw food. And I focused on more unusual proteins, so not the traditional chicken, beef, and lamb, because there is some evidence to show that some dogs are having more issues with those proteins because they've been used for so long in pet foods. So I started making the food at a commercial kitchen and delivering it in the Bay Area. And that went on for a while. And then I started to do some deliveries throughout the country. And eventually, it was hard, but eventually I realized that it just was too expensive. And since I was kind of doing it on my own, I was financing it on my own, it was too much. It's so expensive, as you can imagine, to mail something frozen. You have to use dry ice, and then the cost of shipping, all of that. So I realized that that wasn't sustainable. But I didn't want to give up because I felt like I'd already developed all these recipes, and I was really passionate about the community and creating healthy foods for dogs. So what I came up with and what I found was somebody who could dehydrate the recipes for me and transitioned from food to treats. Treats are such an important part of our relationship in our lives with our dogs. We show love, we show affection with treats, training with treats, which is hugely important for us and for our dogs and our relationship together. So I felt like I wanted to create treats that were made from really wholesome, healthy ingredients that dogs with sensitivities, with allergies, with health issues, dogs that were really picky, that they could find something that they loved, and that I could know and pet owners could know that not only were they giving them a treat that the dogs went bananas for, but they were also giving them a treat that was really good for them. So that's how it started, and I hope you will try them for yourself.